Great, perfect. Okay, so hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today on what is a nice sunny Sunday for a change, so that's good. So as we know, we've been looking at our chakras, and very exciting today, we've reached the final chakra within the physical body that we're going to be discussing. So we've worked all the way up from our tailbone, so our root chakra, all the way towards the crown of our head. And today we arrive at our third eye space, so our chakra which is placed in between our eyebrows, and it's pronounced Ajna in Sanskrit. So this is the name for this chakra, which means wisdom. It means like commanding wisdom, and it also means guru. So our chakras, before we reached this point, they were all kind of grounding. They were very physical. They were to do with the physical body and ourselves within that body. And then as we started to head up through to the higher chakras, so chakras being our energy centers, by the way. So as we started moving up through the body, we became more spiritual. So we start to merge the physical and the spiritual. Once we reached our heart, this was when this change started to happen. And then with our throat, specifically, so our throat we looked at last week, our throat chakra. So this was all about kind of conveying our inner world to the outside through our words, through our speech. And so now we've moved up to the third eye space, and this chakra is all about insight. So it's about our intuition. It's about being able to kind of see things for what they really are, and looking kind of behind the mask and behind our own assumptions. And we're definitely well on our way now into the spiritual realms now that we've reached this chakra. So the saying that goes along with this chakra is we have two eyes to look and one eye to see. So this chakra is definitely related to our sight. In fact, it's all about our sight. But instead of us just sort of looking at something and allowing our mind to kind of assume what this thing is and to run away with all of the stories, etc., this chakra is all about having vision to see beyond that, to see that maybe we have preconceived thoughts or assumptions about the things that we see, and it allows us to look behind that. So it's where our kind of true insight and our true intuition is based. So a few more just little things about the characteristics of the Ajna chakra. So it's the point where our three major nadis merge. So our nadis, we touched upon them previously in class before, are the three energy channels. So the chakras are kind of like the vortexes, like the roundabouts of energy throughout the body, which, by the way, are all related to our aura. So the nadis are the channels. So we have one main nadi that runs along the length of the spine where all the chakras are placed, and then we have two slightly smaller ones on the left and the right that are also major channels. So this is the point where all of those channels meet, so where these channels stop, the energy lines. And it's also supposedly a part of the brain, so it's connected to our gland, to our pineal gland within the brain. And it's also supposedly can become stronger and more in tune with effort. So it's something that we can tune into. It's like a kind of insight, our intuition, like a muscle. We can train it, and we can do various practices to really build its strength. And some people call it like a third eye awakening, where they believe that they can improve their psychic powers by tuning into this area of the body. And it's the final bridge between your physical world and the cosmic world, as we touched upon. It's a sacred spot, so correspondent with the pineal gland and the brain. And as we grow older, many of its functions deteriorate when they're just laying dormant. So when we don't use it, it can deteriorate, and it can be awakened by certain exercises. So you may see many Hindus or Indian people that wear these bindis at the center of the forehead. This is symbolic of this chakra. So it's all about kind of celebrating and protecting this area when they have the bindi on their forehead. So it's the chakra of wisdom, of insight, of truth, separating thoughts from facts and intuition and also imagination. And physically it governs the head, so the whole head area, the eyes, including the sinuses and the brain. So it stands for clear thought, spiritual consideration and insights, and also self-reflection. It allows us to cut through the illusion and to see to deeper, higher truths. So seeing the meaning behind certain things. Its colour is indigo, so all the colours of the chakras are reflective of the rainbow. We've now reached indigo. And its element is light, and the sound is Om. So spelled A-U-M, but also pronounced as Om. You may have seen it written as O-M, which is supposed to be significant of the sound of the universe. So it's all of the sounds in one. And this is the sound wave, the sound level of this chakra. So towards the end of the class, we will finish the class with a couple of Oms. So issues that you may have with this chakra, so as we know, our chakras can become prone to blockages, they can be underactive, they can be overactive. So something that you may want to look into if you have some of the following problems. So this chakra is related to migraines, headaches, any issues with the eyes and sinuses. And then on a more emotional, spiritual level, if you have struggles with illusions, with fears, with trauma, confusion, feeling lost, maybe you have an overriding ego, so you kind of jump to conclusions about things, like you see something and you automatically feel like you know exactly what that means and you jump to a conclusion. You don't stop to kind of take a step back and really look at what's going on. So you may behave irrationally, you may be wanting instant gratification, and you may also be indecisive. So if your chakra was overstimulated instead, so it was overactive, then you may live in a fantasy world, have problems with being delusional, being overly stressed, overpowering, and unsympathetic. So just a few things to think about there. And then when it comes to healing this chakra, so we've learned throughout these sessions that there's many similar ways to heal chakras, but they all are slightly individual, and some prefer other methods, different methods. So the stones for this chakra are any indigo coloured stones. So we've got like labradorite or sodalite, any of those kind of bluey purpley stones. And then also the gland, so the pineal gland, is stimulated by meditating on our third eye chakra. So that's something that we're going to be trying today. And thereby awakening many dormant abilities of the human brain. You can use third eye massages, so massaging this space in between the eyebrows, and then certain aromatherapy oils, essential oils, so jasmine or lavender is good for this one. And then any kind of purple foods or fruits, so lots of berries like blackberries and blueberries. And then I've also noted down here chocolate, because I thought, oh, that's great. We can all listen to that advice and be eating lots of chocolate this week. Cranberries and eggplants. So yeah, anything that's kind of this sort of deep, rich, purpley indigo colour. And then also journaling to see through illusions while self-reflecting. So this chakra is also a lot about self-reflection and kind of trying to think about your actions and other people's actions and going beneath just what is the surface, just what is your kind of initial vision. Okay, so we're going to move into meditation now surrounding this area. So if you need to adjust your seat, maybe you need to just have a little stretch out of your legs before you come to find another seated position, then do. Okay, so just find a straight spine wherever you are. And the hands, you can have them wherever is comfortable, but perhaps you want to flip the palms so that they face up, seeing as we're now moving into our higher realms, our spiritual realms. So we've kind of done the work with our grounding chakras, and we're now moving into this lighter energy. So we're going to just start today with a general meditation. So there will be a little bit of grounding, a little bit of arrival, concentration on the breath. And then we're going to tune in more to this space in between our eyebrows for our third eye meditation. So when you're comfortable, you can close your eyes or maybe just bring the gaze somewhere towards the ground. Find some comfort in your seat. Consider stacking your spine all in one straight line. Feel the connection with your sit bones to the ground or to the chair, wherever you're sitting. Start to feel rooted to the earth, so nice and secure. Allow yourself to arrive to the space, physically, mentally, emotionally. Give yourself permission to just be here now, exactly as you are. Anything that is calling for your attention elsewhere, just put it to one side for now. Everything else can wait. So let's start to tune into our breath. So bringing that breath forward, consciously breathing. Now start to visualize your breath as you inhale, running all the way up the length of your spine, from your sit bones, or if you prefer, from your roots in the earth, all the way up the center of the spine, your main nadi, your main energy channel, all the way until that peak in the center of the eyebrows. And then on the exhale, it runs directly down all the way. So see if you can trace that breath. Where the breath goes, energy follows. Imagine this energy able to run clearly through your center line, through all of your chakras, all of your mini energy roundabouts. All the way up and all the way down. Shoulders soften away from the ears. Head stands tall and proud. The mind wanders, just returning to this visualization, following the breath. Maybe you notice a short pause at the top of your inhale and the bottom of your exhale. Just a natural pause. And can you notice that this pause lies a moment of complete presence, where time almost stands still? So now, keeping your eyes closed, you can just lift one of your hands and bring your index finger to just touch the space that's gently in between your eyebrows, just slightly above the space in between your eyebrows. Maybe if you've got clean hands and you want to lick your finger and then just touch it in this area on the forehead. And then release your hand back down to your lap. And bring your mind's eye up to this area that you just tapped, you just touched. So bringing your attention now to this space. We're going to do a breathing exercise that's just a visualization exercise, so similar to the one that we just completed. But we're going to imagine ourselves inhaling only through the left nostril. And we inhale up to this space in the forehead that we just touched. And then we exhale down through the right nostril. So we're creating a triangle, if you like. So you inhale, even if it's just imagining that you're inhaling through the left nostril, up to the forehead. And then exhaling down, out through the right nostril. So just moving through this with your own breath. So this point through the left nostril is our left nadi, known as Ida, which is the cooling, calming, feminine energy. And then as we exhale through the right nostril, it connects to Pingala, which is the nadi on the right-hand side, which is our active, masculine, energetic style of energy. So we're working on balancing out these final two parts of energy, these final lines of energy as they connect to our Ajna chakra. So staying with this visualization, the mind wanders, any distractions, just coming back to the breath, coming back to the moment. We're going to begin to now reverse the breath. So we're now going to be inhaling through the right and exhaling through the left. Just a few more breaths, seeing if we can stay conscious, staying with it. Okay, and then just slowly releasing that visualization, just finding a normal, natural breath. Let's take a nice deep breath in now, so filling up the chest. And exhale, release. You can sigh it out if you like. Another deep breath in. And exhale. Okay, so our final part to our meditation, we're going to return to this forehead spot, the center in between our eyebrows. So if you'd like to retouch the area, then you can, just to bring attention back to it. And this time, we're going to imagine a small flickering flame at this point. So it's around the size of your thumb. And it's just flickering with your breath. So your breath is touching the flame. And it's glowing and fading. And flickering and dancing around to your breath. You sense its light, you sense its warmth. You sense that it's made up of pure energy. So take whatever energy you need from this flame. Imagine it filling yourself up with its precious energy. All the answers I need, I see within me. I trust my inner teacher. I see all things with clarity. Okay, take a nice deep breath. You can release now the visualization. And exhale. So we're going to do 3 rounds of Om. You can join in with me, or you can just listen to the words as I chant them. So when you're ready, take an inhale to chant. Slowly, let's bring the palms together at the heart. And begin to rub the hands. So create some warmth, some heat, some energy in between the palms. And then bring them over your closed eyes. Feel the warmth from your hands enter your eyes. Slowly blink them open into the darkness. And gradually spreading through the fingers and releasing the hands to the lap. Adjusting gently to the light around you in the room. Okay, thank you everyone. So there was just a short third eye awakening practice or meditation. So definitely some things for us to consider this week as we kind of work more with this theme of seeing, of insight and of intuition. So that phrase, that quote, 2 eyes to look, 1 eye to see, consider it to be an area within you where I guess you second guess. Not to your detriment, but just to consider that things aren't always as they seem, to perhaps start to look behind physical appearances and to, if we can, refrain from making instant assumptions about situations and people, as difficult as it is. And just seeing another perspective, so not believing the thoughts instantly attached to sight, to begin to see beyond that. And to be aware that often what we see in other people is what we see within ourselves. So often how we notice something so clearly in someone else is because we've experienced it ourselves, we've seen it within ourselves. So when we realize this, we can bring an element of being less judgmental to other people and to other situations that we see, as other people are often holding mirrors up to us to show us and teach us and reveal certain things to us about ourselves. So often the situations we find ourselves in, whether it's a disagreement with someone or something that someone said to us that gets us thinking, these are often brought to us as lessons. How are we going to respond? How are we going to react? Can we use, our senses? Can we use our eyes, our ears, our mouth? How we communicate in a way that is kinder if we just stop and consider and think about how we are going to respond. And so just considering and just becoming a little more self-aware. Okay, so we've reached the end of our session now. So thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Namaste. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to message me. And I hope to see you in some of our asana, so our physical yoga classes this week, where we'll be focusing on this area, on this chakra. So have a lovely day in the sunshine. I'll just come and say goodbye now. Thank you, everyone.